Hi guys, welcome to another video. I've been asked by a couple of people if I would do a tutorial on how I use my marker pens. So that's what I thought I would do. We'll give it a try, we'll see what happens. I use Le Moucher twin markers, alcohol markers. I got these from Amazon. I bought the 168 set, which is about £72 I think, which for 168 markers is not bad at all. As I say, these are the Le Moucher ones. I don't honestly think they are any different from the Touch 5 markers or the Homecube markers or any of those other types of cheap markers that are on the market. And that assumption is based on my research of trying to find the company that makes these. And they're just a generic Chinese brand. And they go out to all sorts of companies. So, yeah, you can buy sets of the Touch 5 markers and they correspond to these Le Moucher ones. I need to replace quite a few blues, and Touch 5 do a nice big set for about £20 for, I don't know, 15 markers or something. And of just the blues. So although you can't buy them open stock, you can buy small sets to replace colours. So that's not so bad. And it's cheaper than Copics, which are £6.50 a marker. Not a chance, even if they are refillable. So, anyway, getting back to what we're doing. Like I say, I've had a couple of people ask me if I would show them how I do my marker colouring. So this is just marker pens. There's no pencil or anything involved in this, and it's just lead basically. And there are quite a number of layers on this, and you can feel on the paper that the surface is different once it's finished, but as you can see, they kind of turn out alright, and it's just a colouring book at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going to be using this image, which is from the Steampunk Sweethearts, my Sheeri Baldy, simply because it's got lots of elements in that we can sort of look at. So we can look at the skin colours and blending for the dress and the hat and flowers and things like that. It's got lots going on in it, but not too complicated. So this is my setup basically. I don't know whether you can see that there, but I have my markers all laid out at the top, and that's just so that to hand. I have my list here and my swatch of the colours and the corresponding numbers and names on the end, and my piece of scrap paper, just to make sure that what I'm doing is what I want to do, and a thick wad of printer paper underneath my image to catch the bleed through, of which there will be much. So I think the secret to these markers is to work into the colour while it's still very wet, and that's the secret to blending them. I have only just discovered this myself. I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks and figuring them out, so we'll see how it goes. This just might be the first of several attempts. I hope my light's alright here, because the sun is shining in my eyes from the window and making it difficult for me to see my camera screen. So we'll just have to go with it and see what happens. I've got my daylight lamp on, it's making zero difference. So anyway, without further ado, let's crack on. When I do the skin, we'll start with the face, I start with my lightest tone, which in this case is the Skin White. And what I do with that is I just go over the whole of the area I want to be that colour and give it a base colour. And just, you can barely see it. But I find that this really seems to help when it comes to blending things in. I seem to find that these markers, if you just put one layer down, they're a bit streaky, but when you build layers up, they lose the streakiness and the colour evens out nicely, she says. I hope all of this pans out because I have never coloured on camera before. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I do have an idea what I'm doing, but you know, this is a new thing, guys. Go easy on me. So just colour the whole thing. Don't worry if it looks like a dog's dinner. I think that's skin there. And we'll also do this here. And just lay down that colour there. So that's that. I'll just zoom in on that face a little bit so you can see better. I think that's alright there. Can you see that? Gosh, hope the light's alright. So after that, I'll go in and I'll do round the edges where the shadow is, and I'll use not my deepest colour, which in this case is peach, but I'll maybe go for something like the fruit pink. Now I will use that one, and again I'll use the Skin White, and I'll use them both together. And this is how I've come across blending these. So start with your pale colour again, go around where you want your shadows to be, and go over it again, and then take your darker colour. You want your pale colour to have gone beyond where you want the dark, like that, and then go straight back in with the pale colour. Now in some areas it will lift the paper, but once it dries it does settle back down, and then that will blend out. And as I say, it looks like a dog's dinner to start with, but go with it. Just go with it. It does get better. So I want some shadow in here and in here. This is just Create Space paper, so I have discovered that actually the ink on this paper isn't marvellous. It doesn't stay very well, and it can bleed into the markers. But like I say, it's just a colouring book. You know, I know you want to do nice pictures and everything, but while you're learning this, I don't have a problem with it at all. It's very easy to get super precious about what you're colouring because you're investing so much time in it, but you have to learn, and for that reason it's okay to sacrifice one or two. And these books that have double images in are great for that, because you can go back and make a better job. See, I've just made a mistake there because I'm not concentrating properly. So yeah, in with the pale colour to saturate the page, follow it over with the darker colour, and then back over again with the pale. You can see that lifting the top off that paper a little bit. So yes, it will look like a dog's dinner. That looks terrible, but it will dry. And I want to put some shadows in, so I want a bit under our nose here. And just blend that out. And I want a bit under our mouth here. I'm getting in a pickle with what colour I want. blend that out with a lighter colour, and then I want to define in here a little bit because that's always a bit darker. Just blend it out again. So wet the paper with the pale colour, add in your dark, go back over it with your original colour and then let it dry, and a lot of this streakiness that you see here will just vanish as if by magic. So we'll do this bit here, so skin white again, the pale colour, in with a darker shadow colour, in again to blend that out like that. And it's as straightforward as doing that. Cover your piece first in your lightest, very lightest colour, then let that dry for a little while, then go back over with your light colour, in with your darker shade, and then over the whole thing again with your light colour, and it should blend out quite nicely. And up to now, that is the best way I have found to use these Limouché markers, is to use and make sure that you keep the edge of your working colour wet, and then it should blend nicely. So in again with pale, in with your shadow colour, blend the edges out again, and away you go. So that's basically how I do that. I'm not great with doing skin, it's something I need to practice on, but that is the technique, and obviously you'll have your own colour choices that you'd like to use, and yeah. So let's have a look at the dress. I'm going to do a dress red, and the colours I've chosen out for that are geranium, scarlet, rose red, old red, and raw silk, which is like a creamy sort of colour, which I use for the base. And what that'll do is it will blend to a certain degree on the tip of the pen, which does come off, but it'll give it like a sherbet kind of colour, if you know what I mean. So I will use geranium and the raw silk to start with, and exactly the same again. So start by going over the whole thing with the lightest colour, all the bits that you want doing that shade. And these are double pointed markers, so the other end is a chisel tip, which can actually be quite helpful for getting into small details. So yeah, just over that, let that dry a little bit. Then I've got my geranium colour here. So we'll start here and we'll put down a solid layer of the raw silk, then add in some geranium, and then blend that out using, and it makes this gorgeous sherbety colour. Now, yeah, it will make your pen orange, but I'm not so precious about using up materials. They're there to be used, in my opinion. So as long as you're going over that edge, you can colour it out like that. Take that off again. You see, I'm just scribbling off the excess colour there. And then again here. So just a little bit of your darker colour here, and then blend it out. They work a bit like those chameleon pens when you use them like this, which are also incredibly expensive. So yeah, I'll just continue on with that. Take the extra colour off my marker. Again, wet the whole area with the pail. Add in a bit of colour at the top. Pick that colour up with the point of the next marker and blend it out. And that's that. Now I'm going to take the rose red and just add in some deeper shadows at the base of that. Same again, using the raw silk over the whole lot. Tiny, tiny bit of colour on the top. Blend that out. Take the colour off on a scrap bit of paper. Same again. So all you're doing is building up layers, and as long as you're light-handed about it, it won't destroy your paper. Like I say, this is just create space paper. There's nothing special about it. I haven't printed it out on anything, it's still in the book. So don't be afraid, sorry, to mix your marker colours as well. You don't just have to rely on the colour that you can use them pretty much in the same way as you use your coloured pencils. I can't even remember how I discovered this. It was sort of just a bit by accident, but I'm glad I did, because this is a really super fast way to colour and get really nice effects. And then we'll do this top here. So I will go back to my, what did I have, geranium before? And we'll do this. So again, and you can see that marker comes up nice. It's not discoloured once you wipe that extra picked up colour from it on a bit of scrap paper. We'll do in the bottom of here. Like that. Take the colour, your pale colour, right over the edge. And that will blend out beautifully. And then we'll do the same again with the getting confused now. The rose red. So same again. Just a touch of colour is enough. You don't have to go absolutely berserk with it. Just blend it up and the colour will gradually fade out from the end of your marker and blend out nicely. And that's all there is to it. As if by magic. So I hope that's kind of been a bit helpful. The same principle works with all the markers in the set. And like I say, the secret to blending out the hard edges is to keep the leading edge of your marker work wet, and then it'll blend from there. And that is slightly raised up, but it will dry nice and flat and it'll be fine, and it will turn out hopefully to be like these. So I hope that's been of some use. If there's anything else you'd like to know, please shout out and I'll gladly make a video for you. If you've liked what you've seen, please do subscribe and share, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Mish Colours, and leave a comment below and let me know what you think, and because I love to chat to people, so you know, do get in touch, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. I hope that's been helpful, guys. Take care. Bye.